So hey, it's Sylvia again, and we're going to talk a little bit about Bobinsana. This is her right here. This tree is extremely flexible and strong. I could really put all my weight on this limb. There's not so much as a crack. You can see in a couple places that people have dieted with this tree. They take the bark off of here and come out and work with it and make it every day, twice a day to do a dieta when you're here in person with the Bobinsana. So the first thing, I'm going to show you guys a little bit about how we harvest it for dieta and what parts we take. We saw earlier we're cooking Bobinsana, and we went out and we cut some limbs off of some much larger trees. We always leave the Bobinsana living. We would never cut the whole tree down. So a little history of Bobinsana. The tree itself traditionally is used for things like heating up the body, creating like inner warmth and strength. It is used when people had colds or rheumatism, arthritis, things like that. It was also used as a contraceptive for women. The folk medicine says if you drink the Bobinsana all the time, it will make you not get pregnant. And there's a few other stories there as well. But the Dieta with Bobinsana, and remember, dietas are about relationships with plants. They are not necessarily just about what are the health benefits of this plant. In a Western sense, we always want to know, well, is it going to, this is an anti-inflammatory, for example. Is it going to bring down inflammation? Is it going to cure my cancer? What's it going to do? And that's a part of these plants. And some plants definitely have more powerful constituents in them for fighting cancer and things than others. But when you're on a dieta and you're working with these plants, and even in your microdosing, it's the spiritual energy of this plant. This plant, in the Amazonian tradition of dieta, this plant is a being. This is a person. Her name is Bobinsana. And she generally likes to grow close to water, but we have enough water here that we have two varieties of this Bobinsana here, and it grows really nice. This particular tree, I grabbed some seeds off of a tree near the river, and I brought them back and planted them, and it's been about a year and a half or so. This tree is growing like crazy. It loves it here. And, we sang to it a lot and gave it a lot of prayers. We have several around here that are super happy. So the Bobinsana, its tap root, so the longest, biggest root in the ground, is 7 times deeper in the earth than the tallest limb of this tree. So the tree itself is firmly rooted. So like I said, I could just go up here, and it's hard to even these little guys on nodges, I can just pull a thing off, but it's really hard you can't just break this tree. You have to really hack at it to break it. And it's really fibrous, and it's flexible and full of water. That's why it likes to be near the river. So when you want to learn how to be really strong yet really flexible, which is a really nice thing to have in your life, because you can be really strong, but you don't enter with force and just disrupt everything. You come in with softness and an open heart and a lot of compassion, and you can be really flexible and allow other people their space and to do what they need to do, but remain sovereign. So when you want those qualities in your life, as well as heart opening, this tree is very feminine, and it brings these characteristics out through love. You'll hear songs about Bobinsana. The most famous one is Sirenita Bobinsana. A sirenita is a mermaid or a siren. And that legend comes from, and that song comes from, it sings about healing our bodies and our spirits, and singing about your beautiful flowers and aromas and the beauty of this tree. And it's very, what they call encanto. It's very enchanting. And so the song with the sirens and the mermaids, there's a lot of different stories that come up about why these things come around, but they always lead back to what the spiritual energy of this person that you're going to get to know in your dieta is. And this being, like I said, is strong yet very flexible. So it's not like a brick wall. It's more like a rubber band, right? So the mermaids sing a song to you into the river, and there's lots of Amazonian legends about the mermaids and the dolphins, and they're one and the same. We have pink dolphins in the river. And when they're singing the songs, just like in legends of everywhere in the world, when you swim out to get their healing and to hear their song, because it's beautiful and it opens your heart, oftentimes you drown, right? That's the whole like danger of swimming out to the sirens. They take your life, they take you under the water, and you never return. Well, if you have your friend Bobinsana here, you grab onto it with your feminine side, your left hand, and you can wade right out into the water. And because this is very strong and her taproot is 7 times deeper in the earth than the high of this tree, and I don't let go, and I have 100% faith in this Bobinsana, my friend, then I'm not going to drown in the river. So that's why this song is sung to the Sirenita Bobinsana. The connection between the two, and the song, of course, as all ikudos and medicine songs are, they're calling in the energies of certain plants. So it's calling in the energy of Bobinsana. If you have the opportunity to Dieta with Bobinsana, I highly recommend it. You feel amazing. Personally, a lot of heart opening for me, and my first 2 or 3 have dieted with this plant many times. I really love her. One time I went with Rocio, our maestra, and I walked out into the woods with a machete, and she says, I want to show you something. And so we went out and we found a tree that was, you know, kind of failing out in the jungle. It was about 12 to 14 inches around, and jungle trees are really hard. And she showed me how I could cut down the tree myself and carry it out. Hey, Yushin. And so I did, and it took me like 15 minutes. I cut a whole tree down with a machete, I felled it, and then I came walking back dragging a whole tree on my shoulder. And that was on my Bobinsana Dieta. This is Ushin. He is our baby red howler. He's just a few months old. Yeah, he likes Bobinsana a lot too. He likes to eat the leaves and the berries and the flowers. So I want to show you a little bit about how we harvest the Bobinsana to cook it from the large pieces of the trunk. You can see here like just a small amount of the peel has been taken away here. This is for someone who recently dieted with the Bobinsana. And just took a little bit of the smaller ones. Like when you dieta with trees, the bigger the tree and the bigger the limb that you're working with, the stronger the medicine. It's got more history. It's been talking to Pachamama longer. Okay, so this tree is like a good example. Here, I'll introduce you to. This is the Peruvian princess. This knife, this was made by a good friend of mine named Damien, and he is the husband of the woman who does our women's retreats with us here. Her name's Georgina Kem. She's an amazing author, just finished part 1 of a series, a trilogy of books called The Spell. It's available on Amazon, highly recommend it. So when we go to get the Bobinsana, we would just cut one side of this and not bother the other side of the tree here. And you just peel back this bark like this. And then that's the same as the stuff that we just cooked over there that we were starting that we went and harvested yesterday or the day before. Yeah. And then we just leave this, and like these other spots, it heals up. And you would take this, and if you had a large amount of Bobinsana, this is a small tree, so we wouldn't really do this too much to this tree. Instead, we would use this one just for Dieta, and we just scrape off this bark and then the outer bark a little bit, clean it up, and then we just scrape down this onto usually a cloth, and we take this inner bark and make a tea every day, a tonic every day that you drink for the Dieta when you're here in our presence. This is the way we would harvest it to cook it, and we would leave this other side completely untouched, and the Bobinsana, as you can see, it heals right back up, and it actually helps it grow. I find that when we Dieta with our plants, they grow stronger and bigger and faster. They like it. They like the attention because they are people that you are getting to know. So there you go, Bobinsana.